and welcome to our classroom, our digital classroom, brought to you by Drifters Atlas and Bite Size Gaming. Today we are doing a introductory class on DnDBeyond and integration with Beyond 20. So what I'm going to do today is just go through the basic steps of DnDBeyond, show you how to make a character, what the character sheets look like. I'm then going to show you why we want to use Beyond 20, especially if you're running Roll20. The point of this is definitely for the convention judges like myself. One of the things that we will be doing is getting more players into Roll20 over the next, I don't know how long, with conventions changing to online this year with COVID. So what we are going to do is we're just going to jump right in. Excuse me. We are going to start by registering for DnDBeyond. So DnDBeyond is a digital tool set for 5th edition D&D. You're going to go ahead up here in the top right corner, and we're going to click register. And since I already have an account with Twitch, I'm going to go ahead and sign in with Apple, because I don't have that yet on here, so I'm going to put in my information. That's my Apple ID. There's my Apple password. Again, you can use Google, Twitch, whatever it may be. I am getting the code right now. 3. Okay, yes, I trust the browser. Share my email. That doesn't matter. No. Doesn't matter. It's not what I'm going to be using. Let's begin. Okay, so I've made an account. It's that easy. It's going to be that easy if you use Google. It's going to be that easy if you use Twitch to log in. You're going to click here, and we'll go over a little bit here of DnDBeyond. Starts off with collections, and this is where you're going to see all your characters. So I don't have any here. Since this is a brand new account, I have 6 character slots. I can make up to 6 characters before you need a paid version. You go here to create a character if you're going to create a character, but we're going to look at some of these other things first. Homebrew is really neat because you can homebrew characters or magic items or classes if you're doing your home campaign. My campaigns is pretty neat because this will show you all the campaigns. I'm actually going to, while we do this, it'll be easier if I just do log into my other account so you can see mine. So you see my campaigns, and this is all the campaigns that I'm currently in or currently running. So you see all these campaigns. It shows you your players in those campaigns. So you're going to go ahead and click on like View Campaign here. This is the Motherlode. This is a program that we are beta testing for Kickstarter. So we have my players. You also see up here it says Content Management. You can share anything you purchase on DnDBeyond. You can share with your players by just disabling or enabling content up here. It's really cool. It's really awesome. The best thing about it is if you're a GM like myself or a DM like myself, you can see the character sheets. You can add items to the character that you don't want other people to know. It's a really neat tool. So we come back up here to collections. Encounters is really neat too. If you're running an encounter, I have a couple of encounters here from a while ago. It just shows like if I have how many players and how many bad guys, and I can like run the encounter, and I can track hit points and everything else in initiative right here in the encounter tracker. I can also create a new encounter, pick the bad guys, or I pick over here, I pick challenge rating, party size, and everything else. I'll then pick the bad guys. So it says over here number of players 5, average party level 5. So if I add one of these, an Abjur, it's a hard encounter. If I add an Abjur and an Aarakocra, let's say, it becomes deadly. If I add 2 of them, it becomes Deadly must be the... There's also a very hard, but it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy to understand. You work on it. It balances through CR. So that's collections. Game rules is just all like the basic rules for your classes, basic spells, basic monsters, and so on. This is anything that's from the SRD. So it's anything that is free material from Wizards of the Coast. Sources, these are all the source books or adventures that you have purchased through DnDBeyond. When you click on one of these, it will come down and you'll be able to click on it in each section. So I can click on Dragonboard, it'll pull me right to the Dragonboard part of the Player's Handbook. So let's go back to Tools, Character Builder. That's something we're going to use all the time. Twitch extension, Encounter Builder, Combat Character. This is another way to get back to a lot of those places. While we're here, Tools, Avre is a way to use dice rolling and things through Discord, which is a great product. If you don't want to use Roll20, you can use DnDBeyond and Avre right through your Discord channel. I'm not 100% with that because I use DnDBeyond, but this is where you would come to learn a little bit more about this. They have a talk up about it. They have some advanced dice rollers and character sheet integration. All might be in a future video. So, Marketplace, this is where you purchase your subscriptions so you can share your equipment, or if you want more than 6 characters, or your store so you can purchase any of the material you want. So you have pre-order of Ryama the Frost Maiden, super cool. We got to run 40 hours of that for D&D Live 2020 in May, I think it was. No, it would have been June because it's July now. We've been running this 40 hours of it in June. Got to play a little bit behind the scenes, some of the first adventures through DDAL, which was really cool. Theros comes out in a couple weeks, but it also has all the other stuff, so like the source books. One of the great things about D&D Beyond is that you can see like this is slashed from $29.99 to $22.02, and that's because I previously spent just shy of $8 on the book. And whatever you purchase of the book comes off of the cost of the total book. So even if you just purchase in sections, like the best way to show it here, where's a good one? Like Mordekainen's Tomb of Foes. I don't own any of this book yet. So if I come in here, purchase it, I can purchase it a la carte. So let's say I just want the digital aspect, just the monsters. I can just buy the $12.99 for the monsters. And then if I ever want to come back and buy the rest of the book, it'll be $12.99 cheaper. So it doesn't hurt anything to buy anything a la carte. And then all the rest of the source book product. We won't go too much into that because we're not talking about that. This is, the media is really all helpful. There's a ton of articles, especially if you're getting into DMing or a new player to D&D. Beyond Heroes, Todd Talks, and their YouTube channel. They have a bunch of great programs that they run weekly on Twitch. All wonderful things, a lot of fun if you have the time. Forums is a great place to come ask questions if you have any questions. New Player Guide just talks about new players to D&D in general. And then Quarantine Resources. This is some free adventures and things like that because people are stuck inside right now. So let's get started. We're going to go into characters. We're going to come up here to the top right corner. This is where your account will be. Click on characters. So these are all my characters that I've made in D&D Beyond now. So, we're just going to make a new character. And I am going to start create a character. I don't know if you saw, I did that really quickly, but you're going to come up to the right here, click on create a character. When I go standard, I am going to change the name. Let's go Steve the Barbarian. Steve the Barbarian. So, if you're doing this, I am doing this because I know a lot of our players are looking for this integration, so I'm going to do this AL legal. You don't have to. Again, this is a great site for both AL and non-AL legal. So I'm going to go no to the homebrew content, no to the critical role content, no to playtest. I'm going to say no to Magic the Gathering. I am going to say yes to Eberron because I'm running Eberron all weekend at Gen Con Online. So if you're interested in playing some Gen Con, come check me out. I'm going to be doing the DDXP track. We'll try to get you at the table. No to Rick and Morty, no to non-core D&D. Runeterra is a different product that they've been working with, third party, which is pretty cool stuff. Ties into D&D very well. It's not something we're going to be using today, though. DDAL is milestone based, so we're going to use milestone advancement. Hit point is fixed for AL. It does allow feats and multi-classing, so we're going to leave those on. Show leveled scaled spells. This is really great because it shows what the spells do per class. So, or not per class, per level. So let's say Magic Missile is 3 missiles, 1d4 plus 1. If you cast it at second level, it'll show it as a first level spell, as a second level spell, as a third level spell if you say it showed scaled. Which is kind of neat. Encumbrance, we're going to use Encumbrance. We're not going to ignore coin weight. I'm an old school player, so I'm going to go scores top. Just preference at this point. And then I always make my characters public so other people can see, your DMs can see, and things like that. We're going to choose a race. Well, we're playing in Eberron, so let's hit just Eberron races for now. Just to make something cool. Let's do an Orc of Eberron. Strength, Con. That seems pretty barbarian. Makes sense. So what this is going to do is this is going to show you, before you pick this as your race, it's going to show you all the information about that race. Shows that I have the +2 in strength, +1 in con. Shows that I have the dark vision. Talks a little bit more about the background of it. It shows my languages. So I'm going to choose this race. So Steve is going to have, this shows the races again, but this has something you can pick. Anything with this exclamation point means that you have a choice that you have to make. So prime intuition. So he's a barbarian. So let's do intimidation maybe, and survival. That takes it away because you've made your pick now. So we're going to move forward. The class, we've already said Steve the Barbarian. So Steve the Barbarian is a barbarian. This shows me at level 1 what all the barbarian has. So just like your player's handbook, this shows you everything that you're going to get at level 1 into level 2, and so on. So we're going to add class. Okay, so now right now we have a barbarian, milestone advancement, Steve the Barbarian. We have 12 hit points because that's what you get at level 1. Manage HP would normally let you change that depending on what level you were, if you were fixed or not. This will pick what level your character is. Now I will say I will give a little disclaimer. If you are running a DDAL game and you're having your characters make a character in D&D Beyond, please let them know that they cannot just create anything other than a level 1. They need to have a paper character or a character in Roll20 already that has played a DDAL if they're looking to create a character past level 1. So they can't just come in and make a character to play in your game. They have to have a log sheet character that they were copying into Roll20 if they didn't have that already. Just a little disclaimer, just so I don't get in trouble and tell people to make characters. So, I mean, you could do this all the way up to level 20. Level 20, of course, lets you open up all the choices right away. Otherwise, we're just going to make a level 1 today. Because, again, AL can't create a character out of nothing if it's not AL. It shows my hit points. Proficiencies. I'm picking the proficiency for being a barbarian. So let's pick athletics and nature. That's right, maybe he's a tundra. Or maybe he's in the Grey Wastes in Eberron. Talks about my rage that I get at level 1, and it talks about my unarmored defense. So my dex plus my con, just like any other unarmored defense. So we're going to then go next again. AL is point buy or standard array. We're going to do point buy because that's my favorite. We already get 2 to strength, so let's put that bad boy up at 14. Set him with a 15 because that way we can bump it up with a strength boost feat if we wanted to. Let's get that con up to a 15 as well. Let's leave intelligence and wisdom down. Oop, that was dexterity, not con. Dex. So now we have 4 points left. Let's throw it 2 in charisma. Maybe I'll throw all 4 in charisma. Maybe it's a witty. Here, let's do 10 and 10. Doesn't matter. We're just making a character. You make them however you want. You tell your people they can make a level 1 character however they want. So, you've added your point buy. It's really easy here. You don't have to do any math. It does all the conversion for you. Or you can do, as I said, standard array. And this will show you what you have. So 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, and so on. The other option is manual, and you can just type in whatever you roll. Like 18 is all the way across the board and be a superhero. But either way, we're going to do standard array, let's just say now, because it's been... I don't want to mess with it any longer. There we go. So background for Steve the Barbarian. Oh, we can change the picture now for Steve because we've already picked Barbarian. Or we've already picked Orc. I mean, it's not coming through. It doesn't matter. We'll pick... That's definitely a human, but we'll pick the human here just because I picked it. Just because it was easy enough. What kind of background? Maybe he's a mercenary veteran. And so this, just like any other background, tells you exactly what's going on here. It gives you your bonuses for being a mercenary of the North, and then you get to pick your chosen skills. So these are what's left. So maybe, I don't know, deception and playing kit. Let's make him really good at 3 Dragon Ante, the card game. And then it's going to tell you about your mercenary life. It's just a characteristics. You could go and just click add, and it makes it super easy to fill out those backgrounds instead of writing them out on your character sheet or anything, or typing them into Roll20. Alignment, super easy. Chaotic Evil, or he's a Eberron Orc, so he doesn't have... Well, we don't think of it as Chaotic Evil. Let's do Chaotic Neutral. It's the easiest one to go with. Lifestyle. He's a mercenary, so let's say he's done some mercenary work. He's already living comfortably. Here is your... We're not going to fill all this out, but here is your hair and skin and eyes, just sort of the descriptors. This is those traits that I picked earlier. They auto-filled from clicking these buttons. So if I click like my bond, my honor is my life, it will show up down here as my honor is my life. Notes, this is just sort of those extra things you can add to sort of flavor that backstory. We're going to scroll back up. We'll go over to equipment. It's a level 1 barbarian, so he doesn't have a lot of equipment. It's super easy at level 1. You can go to equipment, and I'm going to go great axe, hand axes, explorer's pack, and then it gives me all these things. So there you go. So okay, so we're on the equipment page still. If you want to add any more items, you can just click down here and add items. And how you do that is you type in here like dagger, and you would see dagger, and you'd click add, and that's going to add it right into the equipment part of my character sheet. But I'll let you guys do that. You're going to click on the character sheet now. We're going right to the character sheet. So Steve the Barbarian. Here's his stats, saving throws, passive perceptions and whether or not they have dark vision. Here's all your proficiencies in languages, your skills. You have your proficiency bonus tied to your level, your walking speed, your armor class, because we haven't equipped anything. Because I didn't do, of course I didn't do much with the dexterity and things because I was just doing quick math. So 13 is what he's at right now. One of the cool things about this is that if you go to before we do that, you can turn on inspiration or not. If your player has inspiration, this is your current hit points for your level 1 character, and then the short and long rest. So long rest, if you press take, so let's say he takes 2 points of damage or 3 points of damage, you hit damage. Now he's 11 out of 14. You go to take a long rest because that will heal you, reset spell slots for other classes, take long rest, confirm a long rest, and it will automatically heal your hit points back up. Short rest is the same way. It will ask if you want to use a hit die. You can roll a hit die, and then you go take short rest. And that will, if you're a class that a short rest makes a big deal, it will automatically reset spell slots and things too. DnDBeyond is doing something called dice rolling beta. If you turn that on, it will have a little die symbol down here. Oh, it's underneath my picture of my screen. We'll pull it to the side quick, just so you can see. You see? Yeah. It's not. Okay. We can't see that. But there's a little side thing down here, and you could pick dice down here in the bottom left corner. If you hit pick a d20 and roll that d20, it will roll square on the screen. Unfortunately, this does not show into Roll20. So what we're going to do, if you're using this with Beyond 20, we're going to go back into my character click here, and we're going to turn off the dice rolling beta. It's very important because when we turn on Beyond 20, it can mess up with that. If you're going to use this at a table, like at a game store or at a convention, you can export your character to PDF by clicking here, and it'll give you a link to go get to it, or you can just click straight to download. But so we'll go into this box, the most important box on your DnDBeyond character sheet. Actions. Actions is going to show you everything you can do in a round. This is all your basic options here at level 1. Attack, these are all the attacks we can have right now. See, it only says unarmed strike. That's because I haven't equipped any of the weapons yet. And if you don't know what anything does, if you click on here, it'll bring up a box with all the information about that item. Hand axe, mess kit, like everything. It'll have whatever's on there. So now we go back to actions and attack, and now it shows me all of the things I can do to attack with the plus and minuses. Actions, you can use any of these. Is the actions for my barbarian right now. Bonus actions, I can do rages, and here's how we click to see how many we have left. As a bonus action, you can move up to your speed against an enemy of your choice that you can see or hear. So that's like a dash, I guess. Reaction, you get the opportunity attack. Other, interact with object. Limited use, rage, because you only get 2 of those a day. Equipment, so this is where all your equipment came when we put them in. If you want to add equipment to your character, you click Manage Equipment. We type it in just like before. Q-U-A-R. Quarterstaff, and it'll show you all the different kinds of quarterstaffs. So we're just going to add a quarterstaff to them, and it's going to show up right here, and then we're going to equip it. But you can do that with anything. You can do it with key. I think key is an item. Mysterious key. Potion. There's them all here. So on and so on. We're not going to go through everything there. But so equipment, it shows your inventory, what you are tuned to, or other positions. So these are things that are important to your character, more so than just the regular items. Also, we have our currency up here. It's really easy to add. If I want to add 1 platinum, 5 electrum, 45 silver, 2 copper, add. It's going to add it straight to my character sheet here. It's going to show it here. It's also going to show weight here. Features and traits. So this is all. I like to break it down by class or racial when I'm looking at it. So the class features are here so far, and this will grow and grow until you hit all the class features you have at level 20. Racial is the same way. You click on racial, and it'll show you all the racial feats you get for being an orc. Or feats. This is if we add any feats to our character, it'll show up here. Description. This shows everything that we typed in. That we picked the background of mercenary veteran. This has our ideals and bonds, our characteristics. Notes. This is a great place to take notes for your backstory of organizations, allies, enemies, backstory, or other. Other is just a notepad that I've used in the past. And extra is a really cool feature, especially for people like druids or wizards who have a familiar. So what you add is, you add an extra, current category, let's say, familiar. You're a wizard. Your familiar is a Dominable Yeti, I guess. It's going to add it into here, and the best part of that is that if you click on this, it gives you the stat block for that creature. So this is really neat if you're playing a druid or if you're doing a wizard that does polymorph. You can have all of those blocks right here right from the get-go, so you don't have to search for it or look for it. The nice part about this too is I will show you in a minute, we can send this information directly into Roll20. So the next thing we're going to do, you have your character sheet, your players went and made Steve a Barbarian, we're ready to play. So your player needs to download something called Beyond 20, and all they have to do is Google. If they Google that, if you type Google Beyond 20, it'll take you right here. With Chrome, you click Add to Chrome, Add Extension, and by adding it to Chrome, I now have added it to Chrome. So you see the little icon up here in the right corner, and I have added Beyond 20. What's nice about this is that now when we go back to Steve the Barbarian, we see this Beyond 20 D&D or die show up. What that's going to do is it's linked our character into our Roll20. It looks like they're still having a problem. There is a known glitch right now about them being able to roll the damage, but we'll see how that works here. So I've opened my Roll20. This is a game. This is the splash screen for a game that I played at D&D Live as the DM. Ignore my information or reach out to me. That's cool. Love to make new friends. If you've seen this video, reach out to me. Thomas Vota on Facebook. DriftersAtlas.com has all of our other stuff on it. So, so what we're really doing is we're looking down here as the big thing. You see that now there's the Beyond 20 logo down here. We are going to roll straight strength. And so it clicks through, and you're going to see strength. My strength's a +3, and I rolled a 20. And that roll is, if you see in that box, it says 17 +3. So I rolled a 17, and my modifier is +3. And it pulled it right from D&D Beyond. And you can do that with all of it. You can do it with initiative, with not proficiency. No, those are all things that aren't rolling. So let's do a con saving throw. Let's do Great Axe. So here we are. This is that strength saving throw. I rolled a natural 1 on initiative, of course. Big goofy barbarian. Constitution save. And the Great Axe is, I rolled a 22 to hit, and that's with a +5, so it's the 17 +5, and then I did 7 slashing damage, and that's a D4, or it's a D12. I rolled a 4 plus my 3 modifier. And the way I did that is I clicked on the weapon here. So let's click on a quarterstaff attack. It's going to show up over here, quarterstaff. If I did it with one hand, it's over here. If I did it with 2 hands, it's over here, and I just happened to roll a 2 on a D6 and a 2 on a D8. So, same amount of damage. So that's pretty much the connection for D&D Beyond and Roll20. The one thing you will have to do is that since you don't have a character sheet in Roll20, you will have to assign a token. So there's 2 ways they can do that. Your player can email you a picture or put it into your Discord, since that's what a lot of our GMs are going to be doing for Gen Con. Or you can set up tokens in your game like I have done, and you're playing a barbarian, so let's take, he's using a Great Axe, so let's use the Great Axe. We'll move it up here so people can see it. What you're going to do, since he's not connected to this because he doesn't have a player here, you have to connect him personally. So what you're going to do is you're going to come down here on the bottom bar, and you're going to find what his avatar is. And you can do that by asking him or asking him what his Roll20 name is, or her. They will tell you what their Roll20 name is. You come down here to settings, and you're going to put in the controlled by, and since the only player in my game right now is Thomas, which is me, you're going to click on Thomas, save changes, and now not only will they be able to control their information in here by rolling through Beyond 20, they'll also be able to control their token in D&D Beyond or in Roll20 because you have set that to that player who's in the chat. I don't think we had any more questions. Let me pull open our Discord here. I think our chat here has been pretty simple. I know this is a very easy and light classroom, or easy and light thing today. We've talked about the dice beta. Awesome. I think we've covered everything that you guys had to ask. Yep. So awesome. So that is everything. Remember, we have set up DnDBeyond on Chrome. We have set up the classroom for learning a little bit about DnDBeyond, made a character, and then we used the DnDBeyond to port it in. We then opened up Roll20. We showed you how to connect a token, and it's really easy. So if they give you a token and that you don't have to, if you don't have a token from a character sheet, all you do is you go to your art folder, you click upload, you choose a file, and you pick one of these files. So like I'm going to just do our coin for Drifter's Atlas. Press open. And it's going to pop up here in a second. There it goes. Showed up right over here. We're going to move it right over here. So now there's a token there. And so I can do the exact same thing. I can go click, controlled by Thomas Vota, save changes. And now if I was a player instead of myself, I could move that character around. The other thing you can do is you can go to some place like Token Stamp or something like that and make a token with that picture, so it's that clean circular token. But other than that, I hope everybody learned at least something. If you didn't, that means you know what you're doing with D&D Beyond. If you have any questions, please reach out to me here either through Twitch or you can do it through any of the Discords. Again, with Twitch, my name is Thomas Vota. I'm on Facebook. Our company is Drifter's Atlas on Twitch. The driftersatlas.com will take you directly to our company. If you have any questions, I have the same name on Twitter at the Drifters Atlas. Same on Instagram. So if you guys have anything, if you have any need, any questions, please reach out. Other than that, have a great week in gaming and enjoy the summer.